Good morning. I want to think about Jesus' earthly life a little bit for a few days as we're continuing to think about Christ and Christology. And it's important that we think about his earthly life. Sometimes when we think about Jesus, we run right to his death, burial, resurrection. Naturally so, because those are the ongoing things that we think about and associate with the impact of our lives. But I think we need to understand some things about his earthly life, and I want to give you just a few points about his earthly life. I want to start in John 14 with one verse, verse 11. He said, and this is after he famously declared he's the way, the truth, and the life, where Philip says, if you just show us the Father, and he says, but if you've seen me, Philip, you've seen the Father. He says, and I'll give you verse 10 and 11 to get a little context. He says, do you not believe that I am in the Father and the Father is in me? The words that I say to you, I do not speak on my own authority, but the Father who dwells in me does his works. Now remember, these verses I hinted at regarding perichoresis the other day. Believe me, verse 11, that I am in the Father and the Father is in me. And I want you to see this last part. Or else believe on account of the works themselves. Why did Jesus do all of the things that he did? Was it to be a wonder worker? Was it to minister to the people that he ministered to and just to bless their lives? And certainly there's a truth that he did bless their lives, and it's truth that he cared and had compassion, and it was born from his character to act that way to the people who were in distress around him. And yet, is there something more? And the answer is right here. Believe on account of the works themselves. Jesus did his works because his works vindicated, bore witness to, testified on behalf of his words. So you can go all the way back to when he healed that guy that dropped down there in the at Peter's mother-in-law's home, there, Peter's home, where Jesus had his home base. And that guy that dropped down and he said, your sins are forgiven you. And they said, well, it's easy for you to say. I can't believe you'd say your sins are forgiven you. And Jesus said, well, what's easier to say? Your sins are forgiven you, or get up and walk so that you might believe, he said. And he looked at the man and said, get up and walk. And the miracle testified of the power of God to forgive sins. So what I want you to think about this morning is that the life of Christ and the amazing works he did were demonstrations of the character of his compassion, for sure, and his heart for people, yes. But a key thing to remember is that his life and his works were a vindication, a testimony to the power of his person and the authority of his proclamation and word. May the Lord bless you today.